Hi there, Hamisu. Welcome on board. Welcome to
Yeah.
another episode of our Afcon matter. Um, I'm not angry with the boys, but I'm just see the person. I didn't want to blame anybody today, but I just have to blame Chukwueze today. That's yeah. I just have to blame. Ambali had already done the job. Like he had saved that penalty. Now it's left for you to just come and score and put the pressure on Morocco. And you did that. The way he stood safe. So what do you have to say? Because me, I feel the boys did very well today. They were able to contain. Yes, the pressure was the Moroccans pressured Nigeria, but Nigeria were able to withstand the pressure, which was very very good. Nigeria were able to withstand the pressure. It was good, but Haba. We all know that Bono is a very like I was telling John Adelakun today. I was telling was it today or yesterday? I was telling John. I said, see, there are two people I'm scared of in that team, that Morocco team. Number one is Bono. I'm scared of Bono. If you watch La Liga already, you know what Bono can do.
Yeah, I know Bono. I
Then,
know.
secondly, I'm scared of that Brian Diaz because of how tricky that guy can be. He's very tricky.
Yeah,
So those two players were the players I was scared of. And Bono did not Bono proved me right today. Like two penalties. He saved two penalties. Two.
yeah. It was
Not happy at all.
it it was a very good game. That the 120 minutes was very much okay because I could remember I heard somewhere that the manager said he's going to contain and counter. He's not going to come out, all out against Morocco. And I think the strategy was like the perfect one. So like you cannot come out against this team because if you come out, they can hurt you and all. They have quick, pace and
Yeah.
everything. And Nigeria, we just cannot beat them tempo to tempo. Pace to pace, we cannot beat them because Nigerian players are just too slow. They are too sluggish. They are too slow. Their reaction time is very very poor. Everybody wants to hold on to the ball like 3, 5, 10 seconds before he thinks about what. Because if you look at the game, like the Moroccan players were not giving the Super Eagles time to even think. Anytime they just get the ball, they are trying to rush.
They were
They'll
rushing.
just rush.
They were rushing Super Eagles players 2-2-3-3. 2-2-3-3.
Yes.
That's how they were like. Ah,
If you look at Osimhen, anytime there's a ball coming to Osimhen, it's like three players, two behind him, one in front of him. Like
exactly.
that was what. So I think the Super Eagles really played for the 100. They really played well for the 120 minutes. But I think after the 90th minute, going into the extra time, I was expecting the coach to bring in Chukwueze. Actually, I was expecting him to bring him in for the extra time. I was like, remove Ako Adams, bring in Chukwueze, add because Chukwueze can dribble. So we need somebody that can at least hold on to the ball and can do something with it. That was the player we needed. But it didn't happen until the 120th minute. And then,
Yeah, I didn't even
just
see
like you
why
said,
you are
if you
putting
see
Chukwueze. You are
there are some
putting
certain players like the way they stand, you know that it actually happened in the World Cup qualifiers when Semi Ajayi missed that PK. Immediately he stood. I know that he's not going to score that PK. So the same thing with Chukwueze today. And that Bruno's penalty,
mm,
I was saying before he even played it, I said normally left players because he knows that he blocked Chukwueze's penalty from the right.
mm.
So it's normal instinct that he knows Bruno is not going to play on that right, he's going to play to the left side. Definitely. And as a player, he's going to go high. As a left back who knows how to cross properly,
Mm.
he's going to go high. So if me, in the comfort of my room here, be able to detect that, then how about man? You're a professional player for God's sake. I know there's pressure and everything. But and then if you look at the penalties that we were able to score, they at first they gave him the sign that as if they are going to go, central, they are going to go right, they are going
Right.
to go right.
He's
Then
left here.
at the dying minute, they will just switch position. That was what they did. And see, you are right. A keeper like Bruno, you are seeing Bruno. So, in the last was it that World Cup that France won? Yasin Bruno
Argentina.
was the best.
The one that Argentina won.
Yasin
It was one that
No,
Argentina
I'm
won.
talking about the one that is it Argentina?
When Argentina
Okay,
won,
yeah,
Bono
Argentina.
was the
So
man.
he
He was
was,
the main man in that Morocco, in the Morocco side.
yeah, yeah, and
I
so
remember.
like,
I think I
so this
remember.
is a
I think that COVID-19 year, I think 2020, where the first time I saw Bono was Man United against Sevilla. Then he was not really the number one
Sevilla.
for Sevilla. He was only keeping in cup games. Cup games.
Yeah,
That COVID-19 time that they moved all the teams to another country. If you remember, that period there was nothing
yeah,
like
yeah.
home and away, just one leg. So Yasin
One
Bono
leg, yeah.
single-handedly removed Manchester United from Europa League. Do you know how many saves he made that day? That was the first day I
And
saw
the
him. I was
guy
like,
is,
who is this guy?
and if you look at the game again entirely, we did not even make. I think we had only 2 shots on target throughout the game. We had only two shots
For
on
one.
target, so we're not even threatening him.
Yes.
It was two. I saw it. No, no, on target, not on target. I mean, 2 shots generally. Generally, we had two
Oh, I'm
shots,
saying
one
one
on
on
target.
target.
I think, yeah. So we like we're not threatening throughout the game. Where he was not doing much even in fact in the game itself because the defenders were doing everything for him. Everybody was playing for the team and all that. And see, my own is that I expected after the World Cup qualifiers, were removed because of the penalties. We lost due to penalties. Then you came into this game saying that you are going to contain and counter.
Mm.
Fine. That means that you should be expecting a draw. So what, as a manager, what are you supposed to? I'm really not directly criticizing the manager. I'm just saying that these are some of the things that Richard needed to do. Needed to at least practice playing penalties. I don't know if they did that. I don't know, but he needed to at least practice playing penalties. You can even get somebody who is very experienced in playing penalties or something among the coaching staff or anything. Guide the players on how they are going to play penalties in case whether in the game or whether at the end of the extra time and everything. Because I believe some of these teams, whenever they go to the knockout stage, you start practicing playing penalties and all that. Because there's tendency that you go into penalties and
And the
everything.
penalties, yeah.
So, but he just came in, Chukwueze just came in and he just did his village thing. I was like, let me just come move Nigeria and go out. So but because he was chewing
And people are
gum, he
going
was
to
not even
yeah,
serious. Like
and
he
people
was
are going to
just, I don't know.
criticize him because he has been the clown of the.
So
You
it is
understand?
what it is, Sha. But I think the Super Eagles tried. Just like we normally see,
Are you me?
penalties, yeah, penalties
I
anyone's
think
game.
a lot of
So
people are going to criticize Chukwueze today because he has been the clown of the squad. So
yeah, yeah,
people are going to criticize him, say, look at the very unserious player, this and that. You only know. So when it's time for you need and me, I was thinking, why did the coach put him towards the end of the game? If you know he's going to play a penalty for you, why not put him like 10 or 7 minutes? Let him play like 10 or 7 minutes so that he so
I
that you
expected him.
so that you warm him up. You warm him up for the
Yeah,
shootout.
I expected him to come in much more earlier in the game than even because like I said, I told you that I was expecting him to remove Akko Adams and bring in Chukwueze so that he'll be able to cover up that right wing
Mhm.
and everything. But he didn't do that. So it is what it is. We're out, and
Now I'm going to go and play
you
Egypt.
know, yeah, kudos me. If I'm Eric Chelsea, this first 11, all of them will just be on the bench. Let those guys that have not been playing, let them just play. That's all. Those
No,
ones that have not
but
been playing, let them
this
just
game
play.
too, we are fighting for something. You're fighting for the bronze medal. So
I beg.
you know. Oh, it's true now. You are fighting for something too now. So you don't want to just
Because
tell the game like that.
because
But
I believe even those ones will be able to do something. Even those ones will be able to do something. It's not as if they are bad or something. They are also very, very good. So they should be able to at least scramble, win something. But we'll be looking up to the finals
yeah, Senegal
and
versus
see.
Morocco.
But
Wow.
anyway, this match had the rhythm of a final. Seriously, had the rhythm of a final. This match, even though I watched the Senegal Egypt game, it was also intense. That one too was also very, very intense. But this one too,
It's not
like
that
it had the rhythm of a final.
Egypt this tournament. It's not that they were very very good, but it's just that they knew how to win games.
Yeah,
They knew how
exactly,
to win games. But you see
exactly.
that Senegal. You see that Senegal. That team. In Africa now, the two countries that are doing well in football is Senegal and Morocco.
Yeah, that Senegal, they are just like a
Senegal and
G
Morocco,
team.
like
They're
grassroots, grassroots football. No, you cannot take it. The way they focus on their grassroots. See Senegal, Morocco, they focused on grassroots very well. And it's showing. That's what we're seeing. Look at the time that Nigeria focused on grassroots, Nigeria were top 5 in FIFA ranking. Yeah, check.
of
So
course.
I don't know why we are not focused on our grassroots. We just want to rely on the likes of Osimhen, Lukman. Oh, you can't continue to rely on them. They will get old. So okay, if they get old, who are you using? Who is going to replace them for you? Who's going to replace them?
Maybe when the time comes, that's when we start thinking.
We'll start thinking, start
Nigeria,
looking for players again. But look at what Senegal and Morocco are doing. They are building
start begging players to
players.
come on.
They are
And
already
do you know one funny thing is that this guy did not even this guy, he came in, I think towards the ending of the game, Ismail Assar, just to tell you how qualitative that Senegal team is.
yes.
Like he did not even
Yes.
he came in at, I think, at the 80th minute or something, 80
Imagine
something minutes. That was when he came. So
Koulibaly got
tell you
injured.
how
Koulibaly got injured. A 20-year-old Senegalese defender replaced him. And he didn't show.
he did he's not going
Not
to
show.
show.
Like he was able to lock Salah. Haba.
I'm telling you,
Senegal team,
those
well,
guys
just leave
are
that
really,
team.
really. And see, even like the Super Eagles, I think to an extent, where last year we're in the finals, now we're knocked out in the semi. Last Afcon we're in the finals, the next one we're knocked out of. This one we're knocked out in the semi final.
Semi-final.
Is a downgrade actually. It's a downgrade actually, but to me, I think one thing that we've achieved throughout this tournament is that that team football. We have moved away from that individual playing style and everything. We have moved into a team game. And I think I don't know. I think there's another AFCON next year, right?
There should be
There's
another
another
one. I think
AFCON. I think
27, yeah.
before the Nations League. I think there's another AFCON before they will break it into 4 years, based on what they
Oh, is that what they want to do? They want to break it
proposed.
4 years.
So I think they want to make AFCON for 4 years. Then they will bring. They said they are going to bring African Nations League.
Okay.
They are going to bring African Nations League. That one is going to be every year, or is it every 2 years? Because it's going to be across 2 years. So it's going to be every year, just like the way we have the European UEFA Nations League.
Okay.
And I like the idea because there are so many teams in Africa, so many countries. I mean, that have not been able to play in any competition, like the Afcon or the World Cup, because of how the qualifying stages are and everything. But when you bring something like a Nations League, every team will compete because you are going to have the upper higher ranking and the lower ranking and everything. So I believe the 54 countries in Africa will participate, and it's going to be interesting. So I think it's a good one. But kudos to the Super Eagles. Penalties were not good, but the overall game plan was okay. I think they played well to what the manager asked them to do, and we'll see in the quarter. We'll see in the third place.
Okay, so what do you have to
In the
say?
third place,
Where do Super Eagles go from here? What advice will you give the NFF? And we're out already. So what would you like to say to the NFF?
yeah,
And what does NFF need to do to make sure that we from now it's upward trajectory? No more. We are no longer coming down.
no more.
Not like lack of payment, this and that. We should be thinking of, okay, how are we going to get better from here?
Yeah, I think you said it. You said it all. You see, this issue of lack of payments, I think it should be something that we should just leave it in the past. We're not supposed to have any issue, whether it's the Super Eagles, under 20, under 17, the Super Falcons, whatever, anything related to sports. The players should be paid, even if it is written in the law that they are going to be paid instrumentally, then it should be followed. You should give them maybe game after game. Anytime any athlete participate in any event, you pay him before he participates in the next round of events, so that you serve as a motivation, so that you don't have any kind of distraction. That's for the payment. And then for the other aspect of it, the infrastructure. I think it's high time we start looking at developing our sporting infrastructure, regardless of whether
Have you
whether
seen
it's going to
Have
be
you seen
through
the
the
picture
NFL
of
or
our stadium in Lagos?
Lagos. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. Like if you see, it's a very, very, very good stadium, but look at how it became. Look at how dilapidated that place has turned into. So if we're able to, let's say for example, we have world class stadiums. The one in Abuja is a world class stadium. The one in Lagos, world class stadiums. Of course, was it Calabar, right? Calabar, and even the one in Gombe. Even the one in Gombe. I think Super Eagles previously, some years back, they played in Gombe because it's a very good stadium. So I think, just like I think we discussed this thing before with you offline, of thinking of how, since we have upcoming, MPFL teams now, we have very good upcoming MPFL teams in the Nigerian professional, league. So I think it's high time the Nigerian government and the NFF you sit down, draft a plan with these teams, and see how they can, even if it's rent, they will rent these stadiums, repair the stadiums through NFF or through the government, federal government, repair these stadiums, and then rent it out to this, this, so that they'll be able to maintain, the clubs will be the ones in charge of maintaining the stadiums. I think that then also NFF can also help the teams, the clubs, to bring in investors that can help them, maintain the stadiums and everything. We have the Dangotes, the Boas, the Otedolas, the businessmen. We have them. When you bring them in, they can, in a kind of like a sponsorship to the club, they can help in maintaining those stadiums. Because I could remember there was a time, I think a year, was it last 2 years, that Dangote took over the renovation of the Abuja National Stadium. So, like, they can bring those sponsorship, even outside sponsors. We have oil companies, all this Shell, Exxon and everything, Total Energies and everything. You can bring them in. They will help. I believe they will invest. They will help, and then the returns they are going to get, they can get maybe advertisement or something of their products and everything in return. So they should sit down and see how we're going to improve the sporting infrastructure in Nigeria. And then also, then the last one is scouting. Not just scouting for foreign players, but also let's start building, developing our own foreign players, our own domestic players. Sorry, they can even bring up a policy where they will say, okay, in every competition that Nigeria is going to participate in, we should have at least one player in each position from the local leagues. I don't know if you understand, but one player from each position. Let's say you normally go to any tournament with 3 goalkeepers. So you pick one goalkeeper from the local league. You pick one defender, whether it's a left back, right back, center back, anyone. Pick from the local league. One midfielder, that's a DMCM, AMF, anyone. One forward. So at least so that you will be able to, start incorporating these players in while you are developing your local leagues. So I think that's just the way forward, because I believe when you talk about the fan base support, I don't think Nigeria is lacking the fan base support. Like, we are one of the wonderful, fan base in the world itself, not just Nigeria, in the world. The whole team, whenever Nigeria is playing, everywhere is quiet, especially at this stage of tournament. In my area, everywhere is quiet. I'm telling you, everybody's indoors watching.
They are watching now.
Watching. When you go to the north, the south, the east, everybody is watching. I'm telling you, everybody is watching Nigeria match. I think, and of course, we have our own domestic issues in Nigeria. So I think sport is going to be another way of uniting the country. So if the federal government and the NFF really wants to really invest in the sporting infrastructure in Nigeria, not just football, we have other sports too. I think it's going to be a way of uniting the country as a whole. So it's not just for sports alone; it's for the national unity, of course.
All right, Hamisu, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you after the top place game.